Hey everybody, this is Seth Keep It Real, and this is my friend Shlomy. Shlomy had the opportunity to meet at the Just One Time Summit conference, and he was actually at the VIP party. I know some of you guys had the opportunity to meet him. So Shlomy, thank you so much for being here today, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And you are right now, what time is it over there in Israel right now?
Actually, we are afternoon here, about 6 o'clock p.m. And
okay.
Nice weather. Tel Aviv, Israel.
Very cool. And I know that you've been traveling all over the world. You're in many different countries. And I have to say to everyone, Shlomy is another one of those beasts. Like this guy, he works hard. He works with a team of people. He knows how to make money in Amazon. He's been doing it for years now. And he has stores in multiple marketplaces. So ask your questions. Think about questions that you have. He has a very unique model. Maybe one, I'm guessing no one in here, myself included, has ever tried. And I want you guys to hear about this. One of our goals in the advanced training is to bring you different perspectives, high-end sellers, so you can think bigger and constantly use those principles and apply them to your store. So, hey, Lucas, good to see you, brother.
Hey, good morning, Seth. How are you?
Good, man. You're going to do the webinar for your car today.
Yeah, I know. I do it a lot. You know, it's like the quietest, safest place when there's like people busy in the house and stuff.
Sometimes I'll record videos. The car is the best place for it. So
yeah, no ambient noise, you know.
Hey,
hello, my name is Luke. What is your name?
My name is Shlomy. It's a little bit difficult, but at the end you can get it.
Shlomy is doable. No, that's not that difficult.
Right.
Nice to meet you, Shlomy.
Nice to meet you.
Anyone in the chat, feel free to ask questions as we go. And then Lucas and Josiah ask questions as we go, as you need. I'm just going to ask some broad questions, and then let you guys lead the conversation where you want. So I'll start with this guy. Shlomy, can you tell us, how did you start with, before you even did Amazon, explain to us what you did and then how you ended up selling on Amazon and what that journey was like.
Of course. So first time about 18 years in the market of trade. Actually, I'm buying and selling electronics and IT computing products in a segment that's called brokers, dealers. And we start in about 2000 in small company. And we actually start buy and sell Cisco product, branded like HP, Cisco, and other products. But in big batch, I mean, we bought few pallets, we sell it few pallets. We found very good sources, very good connections with distributors, where to source the goods in good price. And then we just ship it out like everyone with UPS, DHL, very simple, to other countries and sell it there in a little bit higher price. This is how I start. And so,
how did you, when you guys started, Shlomy, how did you build a relationship with companies like Cisco and HP so that you could purchase their product at wholesale? Like, how did you initiate that? Did you have someone else mentoring you? Did you just call them on the phone? Did you walk up to the, to the corporation? How did you begin that relationship?
Oh, it was really nice story. Actually, I just was an engineer in our cable company in Israel. And I had some contact with vendors because I was an engineer. So companies like Cisco, HP, and Dell, Juniper, other vendors was part of our suppliers, and I had a good relationship with them. But after I finished my work there, and I moved to a big integrator, a company that's doing projects. And they had about $6 million goods in the stock in the warehouse. That actually it's they don't have what to do with that. It's like a liquidation. It's good that they bought it for a project, the project canceled, something like that. So they told me, just take it and sell it. And I said, guys, I'm an engineer. I don't know how to sell. If you want, I can install it. But I just go down to the warehouse. I take a list, and I try to find someone to buy it. But it was before Google and before Amazon and eBay. So I don't know if you remember, but it was Hasta la Vista. Hasta Vista. You remember this website? So I searched there, and I found actually few companies, one in the US and one in the UK, and they look at the list and tell me, okay, we're gonna buy everything, and they give me an offer, and this was my first deal. So I just buy big batch of goods, I sell it outside, and I make nice margin on that. And the next deal was that the same company I sell the goods for want to buy goods. And then I go to my customers and I source from them and sell it locally here. So I understand the trade, and from there I register to a very close exchange, stock exchange. It's like a stock exchange, but it's a market, like a marketplace, but very close marketplace for only traders. And everyone was list the inventory that he had, and we can buy and sell globally from each other. And then we had about 1,000 companies list, and today it's about 12,000. It's still not a lot, but it's worldwide, and it's very good connection and personal connection. So we can source almost everything in very good price all over the world today.
This is a really cool illustration, everyone. You guys hear me talk a lot about your 4 resources. There's people, time, knowledge, money, and in my opinion, in that order of priority. Shlomy just talked about the resource, the asset of people. And you're going to see in a minute how his relationship with these people who he developed through working in engineering and later was able to leverage that relationship to create a business that makes millions. And he's in multiple international marketplaces. And now, and as many of you guys know, one of the hardest parts selling anywhere is sourcing, because you have to find a supplier you can trust, number one, you can communicate, and that's related to trust. And number 3, the quality is there and the price is low. And so seeing how he's leveraged these relationships to bring about the income for himself, his family, and his team is just, it's phenomenal. So could you tell us, Shlomy, how did you move from that to Amazon? And you told me a little bit about the story, and it's very interesting.
Again, I'm sorry, I didn't get you. How we can move from?
Yeah, so how did you move from when you were selling and buying, not online, just selling, or selling and buying not on Amazon? How did you move from there to selling on Amazon? What was that journey like?
All right, so first I was against that, I can tell you. So one of my team member told me, okay, let's open a shop in Amazon, let's try to sell it. And I just say, why? It's not make sense. We make a deal of 100, 200,000 each deal, each transaction. Why to make deal of $100 or $50? It's not make sense for me. It's too much effort with very small money. And this guy insists, one of my team member in the company insists, let's try it. And I said, all right, so let's try. So we opened a shop in the beginning. In the first month, we sold about $100,000 in the first month. And I said, wow, it's nice. There is some business here. It's really cool. And then we list more product and more product. And I can show you in the graph. You can see that in the end of the first year, we sold $1.2 million a month, monthly. This is something really nice, really cool, and it was with few shops. Today we have more than 10 shops only on Amazon worldwide. Start from America, all America, I mean USA, Canada, and Mexico. all European shops, Japan, Australia, and this year probably we're going to grow to more and more marketplaces like India, like China, and probably next year in Israel as well.
Very cool. Again, for those of you guys who just joined, this is Shlomy. Shlomy owns multiple stores, Amazon stores in marketplaces around the world. And one of his secrets to success is his relationship with the suppliers and the deal he gets at cost price, or the price that he's buying it and then selling it like crazy on Amazon. And so if you guys have questions for Shlomy, feel free to ask him. One thing that we talked about too, Shlomy, that I love is you don't even have to run PPC ads most of the time, because your model is sort of like SUPERbrand. Can you explain that a little bit? Like, how does that work, man?
Yeah. So actually, when we talk about e-commerce, we talk about a lot. There is a lot of things in e-commerce. So we can talk about private label. We can talk about sourcing from China, and we can. There is a lot of books written on what to sell, which product to sell, how to choose the product. Of course, we talk about competition and competitors, and if we talk about Amazon, so you want to know if Amazon in the game or not, and all kind of things, information you have to get before you get to this business. And then I thought about and I understand that if we want to make a short term, it's not a short term, but if you want to make money fast, let's say it like that, so we want to focus on products that there is already demand for that. I mean, private label, it's great business, and probably in percentage you can make a lot of money, but this is a long trip. It takes time. It takes time to build the brand, to choose the product, to beat the competition, and this is a long-term business.
And
but
finding a supplier.
Then we found
all that part too, right? Like finding the supplier who can build it for you the way you want it, going back and forth. Absolutely.
Right. And then we found that if we will focus on SUPERbrand only, on the biggest brand in the world that already sell on Amazon, the listing is already exist, the picture is already there, the competitor is there. Only one thing is missing, the price. If you get 1 cent better than the others, you got a deal. And we just check where are we standing in that prices. And we found we have a big gap. I mean, we source good. We know how to buy in the best price. And it's only because our 18 years experience and the strong relationship we have with factories, vendors, distributors, and dealers all around the world. So we focus on that, on SUPERbrand, on branded products. This is the decision we took, and actually I'm very happy from that, and we are selling quite nice.
How do you guys manage 60,000 SKUs? So all that inventory, you know, having just under 100 SKUs is a lot for me. So if you're 60,000, it's unbelievable. What software do you use to manage that? And second question, how do you make sure that your price is always 1 penny below? What software are you using? Because I know the software that can constantly, you know, drop the price so that you always have the buy box on that listing. What are some of your suggestions for these things?
So first, we don't have the best offer for all the 60,000. I mean, in period of time, we are not the best in everything. Yeah, but we probably we have very good price on few thousand in a period of time. But as you said, and you are totally right, we are using technology. You cannot manage so many devices, so many products manually. You must do it automatically with technology. So we are using repricers software. We're using all kind of statistic tools to check if this product is good for us or not. And mostly we are buying FBA, we are using FBA. We are using fulfillment by Amazon. This is one of the key to success. I mean, if you want to sell branded product without FBA, it's really difficult because someone else have it in stock in Amazon. Then you have the advantage. So we choose few thousands of SKUs from the all 60,000 or more we have, and we are just going and buy stock. And this is give us the advantage because when you have the stock in Amazon, you probably get the buy box. And this is exactly what motivates the business and run the business.
Very cool, man. Guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them as we go. I see the chat over here, and then Josiah and Lucas, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just jump in at any point. One of my questions is, what is your profit margin typically when you're selling these items? You're getting them at really good deals because of your relationships with suppliers around the world, and they're branded. So are your margins like 10%, 50%, 5%? What is, and I'm sure it varies, but what is like typical profit margin for you guys, if you don't mind sharing that, Shlomy?
Yeah, so we are in the category that the margin is not so big. I mean, we are in the electronic, consumer electronic, and the IT business. So the gap, even in the offline business, it's not so big. So we are talking about between 5% to 15%, sometimes 20%. This is the maximum you can get per transaction for the goods. And it's depend, but we can see that if we are talking about one very selling product, like a bestseller product like Intel CPUs or Western Digital hard drive or SSDs or all kind of product like that, you can see that the margin is tied like 5 to 6%, but the volume is huge, and the period of time to sell the stock is really short. So you can buy 1,000 pieces of SSDs and you sell it in 1 week. It's something really nice to see. Wow. But the margin, it's like 5% about.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I love about these kinds of conversations, guys. It helps us to think of different business models. So we talked about private label, and private label, typically your margins are going to be much bigger. You're going to be running PPC ads. We recommend 40% minimum profit margin. But now if you swing over here to a SUPERbrand model, we're talking about lower profit margins, but much higher volume. So they're two different business models. And I think one of the things that's really important is as you start your Amazon business, know what model you want. For those of you guys who are doing arbitrage or starting arbitrage or doing it at the same time as private label, you already experienced this. You understand it's a totally different feel. It's like a different personality or person. With arbitrage, you can have a whole bunch of listings. Some of them are selling like within a week. Some don't sell for 6 months. And it's all about the volume and having the best price, the best deal constantly. And then private label is a lot of time. You're building your brand. You're thinking through funnels. You're thinking through Facebook ads. But then once you do sell, those margins are much bigger on just a few items. And as you guys can tell, there's risks, there's pros and cons that come with both. One thing that has helped me so much, and Josiah and I, we were laughing the other day because we realized now, and it's insane, like we run 15 businesses and it kind of crept up on us. We didn't realize. But by doing different businesses and having different models, it helps us to think outside the box. No buy box pun intended there. I can think of 4,000 jokes right now. I could mention. And it makes us think outside the box and in a way that keeps us loose. You don't want to get locked into, everything is this one way. You have to constantly think about other models to expand your thinking. And the best part is you can borrow principles from different models. So for those of you guys doing arbitrage, there's a lot to be gleaned here. For those of you doing private label, think about the volume side and the advantage and the disadvantages that brings. Okay, we got some questions. Let's see. 100% Scott. How's it going, Scott? He says, okay, Shlomy, do you do things to get repeat business? In other words, do you do like inserts, email follow-ups, things like that, little card inserts on your products? Or do you rely mostly on BSR and customer searching each day?
So if I understand it right, so you are talking about the customer support or the product?
Yeah, I think what he's asking is, and this is a private label strategy where, you know, if you're selling your eraser and you're selling this, when I get it in the box, I open the box, there's a card, and that card has a link that leads me to a web page where I can fill it out and I can collect my email and then start an email list. So maybe every week I get an email from you saying, hey, best deal of the week, or we have a new product we're about to, you know, maybe not a new product, but a new product we're going to make available on Amazon, things like that. Do you have like an email list that you collect of your customers so they come back and buy from you a second time? Or do you stay away from that model and focus on the volume? Does that make sense?
So actually in the SUPERbrand business, it's not so necessary because it's really different business. It's not like the private label. I totally understand what you're saying. When you are trying to build brand and you want to keep it and to grow with the brand, it's totally understand that you have to collect the data of the customers and use it and try to do something else, maybe also in other platforms, not only in Amazon. In the SUPERbrand, the thing is that to keep always for the right products. I mean, you buy stock, it's finished, you always have to fill it out, and always to find more brands and more products. It's a little bit different. The demand is already there. You don't have to do nothing. And actually, it's maybe sounds a little bit strange, but the customer is already needed. So you don't have to do nothing to get the sales. So
they already know the brand. They already believe in the brand. They know what they want. They go to Amazon. You have the best deal. They buy it. Done. And that's
Someone else already paid for this marketing. Someone else already done it. So it's about like this. Of course, there is a lot of other things in marketing. You can do lightning deals, and you can do sponsorship if you want to be in the first, and a lot of things you can use. And you get all the data. Everyone that buy from me, I have the data. Of course, it's in the shop, but I'm not using it because I don't need. I can sell more than I can get. If I have more product, I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah,
it's simple.
I'm gonna share something with you guys here. I love this concept, and I remember a long time ago, Josiah and I were sitting at a coffee shop, and this is like one of our very first videos, and this has helped us a lot. And I'm gonna show you guys. Hopefully, you guys can see that. But the question we always ask ourselves is, what is the fastest path to cash? Now, that might sound materialistic, but it's an important question. Because sometimes, and I was sharing this on Instagram yesterday, sometimes we will get so caught up in the strategy that we are spending a lot of time trying to get everything perfect. And this line keeps getting longer and longer. And if we get to cash faster, and I'm not saying, you know, SUPERbrand model is the model you should use necessarily. Some of you should, some of you shouldn't. That's not the point. The point is, how can I get to cash quickly? So if me building a brand is going to make it slower and I make less, it makes no sense to do it based on my model. However, if my model is one where I'm building my brand, it's going to take longer, but my profit margins are bigger, I still need to ask the question, what is the fastest way to get this to the market? Because every second that goes by, there are competitors out there who are also looking at the data. They're also differentiating. They're also going to release their product. And there's something to say for speed. When you go fast, you make more money. Because when you get there first, you get your market share. So keep that in mind, guys. For those of you guys who are super analytical, I respect the analytics, but don't let it keep you from making a decision because you feel like you have to have everything perfect. Guess what? You won't get everything perfect. Here, hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 second. I'll fix this.
Shlomy, what are some of the tools you use and what are some of the processes you automate?
So I use Excel that you probably know, and I use another company called, and of course the Jungle Scout, and they have a calculator that I use it a lot. It's called AMZ calculator.
Yeah.
And it shows you the quantities sold monthly, and it shows you the netto price you get for each SKU. And I use another dashboard that show me actually the current sales in two terms that very interesting me. That one, it's year to date, to know how much I sold beginning of January 1st, and month to date, that it's what is my result in this month. And it's called Seller Snap. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's really nice. And also I use the repricer of Seller Snap. A little bit expensive, but for us it's okay. And we get actually a good picture, a good dashboard. You can see exactly what you sold, when you sold, and which shop, because we have 10 shops, so we are consolidate everything in one dashboard. So I can see where I sell it. If it was in Germany or in UK or in America, I can see everything in one graph. And this is really nice. I have a big TV, 16-inch in my meeting room, and each one that gets inside see the numbers. And I don't care from that, but I just put it there. And people are very impressed. Because they are sitting and they see the sales running, and it's like amazing. I mean, we drink coffee. How it's happened, but it's happened.
Do you do all of your, a lot of your own product research, or do you have teams that are doing that as well, or?
Yeah, we are about 30 people. We have an office in Dallas, Texas, in America, and big warehouse as well. We have another team in Frankfurt, in Germany, and also a big warehouse to support our European business. And the headquarters, the HQ, is in Israel. And we are sitting here with the purchasing team. We have a quite big purchasing team. And from here we take the decision how to grow and the strategy things. And of course we have partners in China. And now we are looking to expand, as I told you, to start selling also in China and in India. It's for us. I think it's very, very good markets. So.
Thanks, Shlomy.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, Shlomy?
Hey, how are you?
Question. You said that you built connections over a long periods of time to get really good prices from big brands. How many years did that take? Like 10 years, 15 years? Like how long did that take to get those prices down?
Actually, it didn't took too much time because we start dealing from the first day. But of course, during the years, you build a relationship. And it's not only the relationship, you are building the know-how. You have to know how to get the prices. It's not simple as that. If I go to Walmart, I get a price. It's nice. I see a lot of people, a lot of Amazon sellers going to Walmart, check where is the great deals now, or Costco. See what is the great deal. Just scan it with the app, the Amazon seller, the Amazon seller central app, and see if they have business or not, and they just buy it and sell it. That's nice, but this is in small scale. When you want to do it in big scale, in 60,000 products, you need a good relationship with distributors, with companies in America. The biggest distributor in our market, it's Ingram Micro, for example, or Tech Data. You need a huge companies that you can connect with them, cooperate with them. This is one thing. Second, they will offer you a regular price. So actually, it's a different discussion. I can talk about it 24 hours, and you just have to stop me. But it's really difficult to get the right price. You need to know how to do that. And this is not a volume. This is not a volume. Everyone think if I buy more, I get better price. It's not really working like that. It's more difficult than that.
Yeah,
so you have to
like learning culture and learning, just a lot about negotiation and stuff too. What are some of your favorite tactics in that?
I mean, you have to understand how the trade is working. What motivates the distributors? What motivates the brands? So, for example, if there is a account manager in Dallas, Texas, for working for Dell, he have a target. He have to sell in 3 months, in a quarter. He have to sell, for example, $10 million. And after 2 months, let's start it's the Q1. So in March, he start thinking, how can I get my target? If I'm not get my target, I not get my bonus. If I'm not get my bonus, probably I will fire. So he start thinking, how can I sell it now? What am I gonna do? So then he finds a stupid guy from Israel that want to pay cash, $2 million, only to buy goods from there. But I tell him, give me the best price. This is the price I need. If you give me this price, I'm going to buy it now, cash. What is your bank details? I'm going to wire the money now. And this is how we make business. I mean, this is just one story, yeah, but it's more complicated than that. But
I'm imagining, Shlomy, I'm imagining this guy, he's in his office, and he's sweating because he's not going to reach his quota. And all of a sudden, he gets some FaceTime on his phone, and it's Shlomy's smiling face, like, hey, I'll wire you the money right now for this deal. I love it.
It's like that. I mean, there is country in Eastern Europe that we are buying more than 50% of the annual sales in this country. It's crazy.
That's incredible. Let me do this though. Let's take, and I'm going to ask, and there's a few more questions here. So I'm going to get back to your other questions, Scott, but I want to ask this one first because of its relevancy. So Amanda says, I'm approved to sell Disney. I've never really done anything with it. I'm wondering now if I should take advantage of this. Should I find some good Disney suppliers? So for someone who doesn't have the network yet for this, what advice would you give to Amanda? She's approved to sell Disney. It's difficult to get approved for that. So she's approved on Amazon. Now she wants to take the next step. What advice would you give her? Where does she go? How does she get that information that you mentioned? The guy sweating in his office because he needs to meet his quota.
Oh, it's really difficult to get to these guys. I mean, it's something you build. This is exactly what we built here many years. We are connected to these guys in every day, and we know how to buy it. We know that part of the goods, I mean, some brand we know. For example, I give you an example for with the Cisco. Cisco, it's the biggest networking vendor in the world. So they have switch. They produce switches, a network switch, and this switch, let's say they have what it's called GPL. It's global price list. For example, one of the switches, the GPL, it's $1,000. This is the maximum price, let's say, end customer recommended price, but even the end customer not buy it. But this is the GPL. This is the list price for that. From this price, they just give discounts. This is how it's work. So in America, there is a lot of money. They don't care. They give you 20%. So you can buy the same switch in $800. But in Dubai, they said, okay, I want this business, and they give 50%. So the guy from Dubai gets the same product, exactly the same product, in $500. Wow. And then we go to China, and they say, oh, there is a lot of competition here. There is Huawei. There is all kind of others. Oh, it's not going to work. $500, no one will buy this switch. Let's do it in $300. And then they sell it to China Mobile or to one of the banks in $300. Guys, it's the same device, same. And we get the information that in China, we can source this device in $350. Because the distributor get it in $300, he will sell to us $350. So we buy it in $350, ship it to the US, and sell it in $700. But the market price, the vendor itself, sell it in $800. So we have better price than the vendor. This is what happened.
That's incredible. Because you know different people. So it sounds like you're actually arbitraging the currency exchange rate as well. Because of the price here in China compared to Dubai, compared to America, you can leverage those against each other to get the best deal. That's amazing.
I agree with you.
It's like buying a house, you know, in another country. You know, for USD, you can get a really nice house in some countries, really nice, and rent it out. You actually get more for your money than if you try to buy a house like in China, where, you know, a very, very small home is over $1 million. You know, it's incredible. And in the US, it's actually cheaper than in China to buy a house. So that makes total sense. A thought just to encourage you guys with too. So what I see a lot with people selling Amazon, and it's sad, but it's true, is people give up. People get discouraged, they give up, they're struggling, their capital's limited, they're exhausted, they're tired, they're discouraged, and they give up. And to get to a point of giving up, someone has to come to the belief that giving up is a better option than continuing. Now, what stands out about your story is you mentioned this numerous times, and people are saying, you know, what are your strategies for getting the best price? How do you find the person to buy Cisco switches from so I can get a better price and make a bunch of money on Amazon? And what I hear you saying a lot, Shlomy, and this is really gold, you've been in it for a long time. So there's something to be said for in a business, just being in it for a long time. Over time, you're going to get better deals. And I can say this on a smaller level when it comes to suppliers, that just having relationships with suppliers for the last few years, 3.5 years, we have better prices just because they know us and they trust us, that we could never have gotten the first 2 or 3 years. But now they're better just because there's a relationship. So there's something to be said, you guys. Sometimes, here's another example. You launch a product, it doesn't go anywhere. Then 6 months later, it starts to sell once a week. Then 2 months later, 4 times, and then just slowly, all of a sudden, it starts picking up. You go, man, I almost gave up on that product, and finally now it's doing what I hoped it would do. There's something to be said for staying in the business for a long enough time until it begins to pay you back. And I want to encourage you guys, if you're struggling, do not give up. Because sometimes you're digging for gold. You're digging for gold. You don't realize just one more foot of dirt and there's gold. And if you walk away, someone else is going to pick up that pickaxe and they're going to dig it for you and find it as well. There's another question that Scott asked. He says, for cash flow, excuse me, do you pay the supplier net 90 so that you get the products to Amazon and get the money before you have to pay? Or do they want you to pay in advance? So you pay the products, do you have 90 days before you actually have to pay for it? Or do they want the money right now? How do you manage that? Or I'm guessing it's probably all over the place.
Yeah, so first, in the beginning, we start with payment terms. How surprised. We got payment terms in the beginning. I mean, we had a small business, so we get payment terms because the supplier said, okay, I look at Shlomy, okay, I give him 50,000, okay, that's nice, that's okay. And then we start grow, and the 50 is not enough. We need 100, we need 200, we need 1 million. And then they said, I'm sorry, I can give you 50,000, I can give you 100,000. If you want more, pay in cash. And another thing, if you pay in cash, you get another discount, another 1%, another 2%. This is mean a lot in our business. And we decide to do it a cash business. And today we pay in cash. We not own money to no one like that. And we get the goods, and we enjoying from the advantage of cash discount. So this is most of the things I prefer to pay cash.
That makes sense. And at 5 to 15% margin, getting that 1 to 2% discount off of cash is a bigger deal. That makes sense. You know, over a 5-year period, that's millions of dollars. That's millions of dollars, you know, over several years. Scott also says, Shlomy, do you do bundles or do you mostly do individual items when you're selling on Amazon?
I think about bundles, but at the moment we are just using the regular listing. We are choosing the listing that already have a big history. I mean, a big sales.
Or it has ranking.
Yes, we can open our listing and make bundle. I think it can work, but then again I start from zero. I like to see the cash tonight, tomorrow, and for that we are using the listing, the existing listing that already have 20, 30 competitor. But like that, we know that this is the listing that customer choose and buy. So for your question, we are.
Now this is very, very helpful. How do you know? How do you determine when to make your price 1 penny less so that you have the buy box? I'm assuming that's your strategy, so people buy it. Versus I'm gonna wait until other inventory runs out and then I'll win the buy box. Like, how do you make those decisions? What's some of the criteria you use when you're selling on a listing in Amazon's catalog?
So we have a tool that telling us how many quantities each competitor have in this listing at stock.
Right. So you're not going in and doing the 999 trick. You have a tool.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just check it and get the decision. If I see that there is two competitors that they have 1 piece or 2 pieces in stock, or even 5 pieces in stock, I said, okay, let them sell it. I'm not going to fight with them on the price. I just get the price that after them. I mean, I give them the opportunity to buy the buy box, to get the buy box, and I'm going to sell it tomorrow. That's fine for me. But if I see someone that have 999 or something like that, so I understand I have to fight with him, or I mean, not fight. Fight is not a good word. To compete with him.
Yeah, get it.
and then I choose what is the minimum price I put in the repricer price, and always keep 1 cent less. My gap have to be only 1 cent. Sometimes the competition it's more difficult because Amazon is part of the game, and then there is a big question: do you like to compete with Amazon or not? And I have an answer for that, guys. Of course I can. Of course, why not?
They are not the best at selling.
Not all the time. So I try to beat them as well. And I get few things. One thing, they bought my stock. A lot of time they just bought my stock.
Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah.
You make money off of
Amazon.
But did you make money when they bought your stock? Did you make money off of that?
They didn't call me. They didn't ask a discount. They just bought it online. I have 300 pieces.
Help me understand, Shlomy. They bought it from your Amazon store, or what are you referring to?
Yeah, online from Amazon store.
Okay, and you made profit off that, right?
Excuse me?
You made profit off that, right?
Of course, I make profit on that. Of course.
So,
don't worry, they make profit as well. Don't worry. They bought from me, and then they list it in $10 more and sell it. I mean, they lose money. That's fine. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So they buy it from you, list it for $10 higher, and sell it. So they're losing money. That's really interesting. So I have a question. I will never forget the first time I started listing some of my own items. I had a bunch of books behind me on the shelf. I had like over 2,000 books. So I started selling them on Amazon. And sometimes I noticed that every time it would go up, boom, I would lose the box, someone else would have it because it would always be a penny less. Maybe it was you, Shlomy. No, maybe not.
Maybe.
But I noticed there was a pricer, obviously. Some people bring it all the way down to a penny. Literally, 0.01. And how often do you watch for that? Because there are some people, they got their repricer, so you guys are doing this, right? At some point, you're going to lose your profit. How do you know when to stop? Do you set it at a minimum so it doesn't go below and you don't lose that minimum 5% margin? Or how do you handle that?
The secret in repricer is also to increase the price, not only to reduce the price. To reduce the price is simple, but you also have to what we do, we have a team that's checking the price every day. We are checking it. I mean, the automation is made, but we are checking it. We are live the market. We are live the product every day. Sometimes I see that the repricer it's down and it's not increased the price automatically from some reason. So we're gonna check it. We're gonna check what happened. And every day I have at least 10 to 50 products that we're gonna increase the price. So yes, most of the time the competition is to go down, but sometimes you increase the price and start again. And we found a lot of games, like with Amazon, for example. They reduce the price, then we reduce the price, then they reduce the price, then we reduce the price, and we go down. And then I see that the other competitors are far away from us. So I said, okay, this is a loss-loss situation. Then I just increase the price. I let Amazon to be the lower, I increase the price. I think about 10 minutes later, I see they increase the price.
The cool thing about that is you just found out what their bare minimum, what their break even is. That's pretty cool.
Sometimes, yeah, you're right.
That's really cool. Yeah. We have another question. Mike Dunham says, with 60,000 SKUs, what type of customer support platform do you offer? You obviously can't respond to every one of your customers, so this would not be the best use of your time.
First, it's a good question. Thank you for that. We have a team of 5 people in the Philippines that this is what they are doing, just doing customer support. We're using a service, 5 people, this is what they are doing, only customer support. They are replying, like the gentleman said, about 200 to 300 emails a day, messages a day, about all kinds of things. This is only in America. We are talking in Europe, we have more things. It's more difficult. Europe, it's more difficult because there is a lot of things with invoices that you have to issue to customers. And there we are get about additional 2,000, 2,500 emails only for invoices issues in about a quarter. So we are dealing with that, but we have a team only for that.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. So basically, you have virtual assistants from the Philippines taking care of customer support. That's really, really helpful. PJ says, do you use any other platforms? Do you sell on Walmart's platform? Do you sell on Jet? Or is it only Amazon?
At the moment, only on Amazon. I thought about Walmart and Jet and Newegg and others. We also contacted by them to do some business with them, but still, I'm still not there. I don't think, I know that Amazon it's on more than 51% from the online market, the total online market. So this is the main business for us to focus. But yes, we're thinking about spreading the business to other platforms. We start in Europe, actually, not in America for this time, and we open shop in France in a different marketplace. They have 60 million users. It's really nice, and we get about 40 to 50 orders a day in France. We are going to open another shop in Poland, but it's a nice country, about 80 million people, 10 million users for this platform. And we have all kind of thinking about expanding to this marketplace. But we are focusing on Amazon. Amazon is the best platform for us. We see that it's have a lot of demand, and I think the FBA is the difference between all the others. I mean, the fulfillment by Amazon is quite great, and the Prime service is perfect. And our shop is also SFP. It's a self-fulfillment prime in America. So we can send goods from our warehouse, and we also have we already have the batch, the prime batch. So we have all kind of programs. We are registered with Amazon, so it's working good. In other platform, let's say we try eBay, for example. We sold about $50,000 a month. I said it's just wasting time. I mean, it's not for me.
Gotcha.
So
that's wasting. Go ahead. No, so that's wasting time. That's wasting time even for you with the team of people whose time is kind of for labor. It's still wasting time.
It's not wasting time. I mean, it's the question of what is the efforts you have to put on a deal. And in Amazon, the efforts it's lower than the other platforms. This is why we are working in full time in Amazon. This is.
Gotcha, Shlomy. Thanks, man.
So I'm guessing, and this ties in with Lucas's question, your operating costs for selling eBay, guessing, are higher than selling Amazon because it takes more effort. So you have to pay more people in order to get the same results. And then when you do get those results, compare what you're making, compare what you're spending to run the business, it's not worth it. Am I thinking about that correctly, Shlomy?
That's one thing. The second thing is the logistic part. We are selling a product that the margin is low. We talked about before. So if we talk about 5% to 10% from a CPU that costs, even the best one, the i7, it's $350. Okay. So just sorry guys. בנות יהיו בשקט. שקט. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's my kids. So if I make $35 on 350, so and I need to ship the goods by myself, probably I'm not make money. And if I make money, it's less than I expected.
Right.
With FBA, I buy 1,000 CPUs, I sell it to FBA, and then I pay $1.2, $1.3 per transaction to the Amazon services. Then it makes sense. So in eBay, it's for the SUPERbrand business, it's less fit with our expectation.
Yep. Makes total sense. So you're evaluating your assets, deciding where it's worth it and where it isn't because you know your numbers. All right, guys, any last questions? We got 8 minutes left. And Shlomy, thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that your time per hour is worth a lot. So thank you, brother, for coming in here and helping everyone and answering these questions. I have a question. What are your thoughts on seller fulfilled prime versus FBA? So the advantages, the disadvantages, and why do you do seller fulfilled prime instead of FBA? Unless it's a really large item, in that case, I can see your fees are going to be a lot lower if you have a good deal with a shipping company in a warehouse. Can you expound a little bit on that?
So in SUPERbrand, it's quite simple. I mean, for FBA, I need to finance all the goods, everything. I have to finance it. I have to buy the goods, ship it, and store it in Amazon warehouse. This is cost money. In SFP, what I'm doing, it's a little bit different. I have to do actually the same, but I can count on suppliers that I can offer their product if they can give me the service like a 48 hours shipment. And this is the advantage in SFP. So I can count on more suppliers, and then I can list more product without finance them. This is the things with SFP. This is why we are using also SFP.
That's awesome. So you've taken this option that Amazon used to have, and you're turning it to an advantage to make more money, which makes total sense. So,
for example, if I have another 10 suppliers in the US that they have in the inventory some SKUs and quantity, they send me every day the inventory, the update inventory. I make sure to update it, and when I get order, they're gonna ship it directly to the customer. It's like a retail arbitrage that you know. And
awesome.
So in SFP, I will get a deal. I will get a buy box because I have the Prime service, the Prime badge, and I can count on product that I never bought.
Really
Of course,
cool.
it have to be specific suppliers and not with everyone.
Right. That makes total sense. Shlomy, I really appreciate how you think. Like I can see as you're talking how you analyze your assets and you leverage them in a way that is smart, and I respect that. So thank you again for being here. And I'm going to share with you guys really briefly before we go. Shlomy and I have been talking on the back end about an opportunity of possibly him partnering up with Just One Dime and leveraging his team and his experience to help you guys make more money. If you've ever thought about any level of e-commerce investment or having someone build a store for you that you can turn around and sell later, think about that. I'm just going to throw it out there as a teaser for now. There's a lot of details that he and I work out on the back end, but we not only want him to be here to help provide content, but we're also thinking, what if we had some kind of partnership with Schlomy that helps you guys to be able to leverage resources in a way that will end up making you more money? And there's a huge opportunity there, as well as just to learn from Schlomy too. So thank you again, Schlomy. I really appreciate it, brother. Enjoy your evening with your family. And Lucas, Josiah, thanks for being here, everybody. Hope that's been really helpful for you in your business.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Schlomy.
One takeaway, Shlomy, from you that you mentioned was, you know, what motivates people. And I just want to let you know that was like really kind of helpful because it's all about, you know, people. And so it's all about understanding what we want from each other and putting yourself in that, you know, position to understand that is like vital. That's like the biggest thing, I think. So thanks so much for that.
Thank you.
And that's why we're going to China. So yeah, anyways, cool. Sorry. All right, see you guys.
Here.
All right, you guys.